In the heart of the Texas desert, where old roads vanish into sands and cacti, stood a derelict gas station. Drivers who stopped there by chance told strange tales, faint voices behind the walls, shadows moving for no reason, and a strange, rotten smell that appeared suddenly and vanished just as quickly. Locals called it Croft's gas station. It was said to have belonged to a man named Henry Croft, who disappeared along with his wife and young daughter back in 1962. Since then, the gas station had become a magnet for misfortune. People who spent the night there went missing, and those who survived returned pale and silent, as if something had drained the soul out of them. Liz, a young woman from Houston, was driving home after a business trip. She'd been on the road for 10 hours when she noticed her fuel gauge creeping dangerously close to empty. All around her was nothing but desert, with no sign of civilization in sight. Finally, her car's headlights picked up a faint glow in the distance, an old sign with faded letters reading gas, snacks, lodging. Liz sighed in relief. The gas station looked like it had been forgotten by time, peeling walls, cracked windows, and rusting pumps entangled with cobwebs. Liz pulled up to one of the pumps and tried to fill her tank, but the nozzle was dead. Looking around, she noticed light spilling out from inside the building. Stepping through the door, she felt an icy chill wash over her. Though it was over 100 degrees outside, the air inside was as cold as a winter's night. The shelves were lined with dusty cans, old cereal boxes, and an eerie silence that pressed down on her. Behind the counter sat a man. His skin was a sickly gray, like he hadn't seen the sun in decades. His wide, unblinking eyes fixed on Liz, and his lips curled into a slow, unsettling smile. "Need gas?" His voice was hoarse, like a rusted hinge creaking open. "Yes, and some water if you have it," Liz said, her heart beating a little faster. The man nodded and disappeared into the back room. She could hear his footsteps retreating, but they sounded odd, like he was dragging something heavy across the floor. As Liz waited, she felt a light touch on her shoulder. Spinning around, she saw no one behind her. The room was empty, but the air had grown heavy, as if charged with electricity before a storm. The man returned, holding a rusty gas can. His smile had grown wider, revealing teeth that looked almost corroded. "Water's out back," he said, gesturing to a door in the corner, half hidden behind a frayed curtain. Liz hesitated, then approached the door and pushed it open. It led to a staircase descending into darkness, the air growing damp and carrying a sickly sweet odor the farther down she went. At the bottom, she found a small stone reservoir filled with dark, still water. She knelt to scoop some into her hand, but as she leaned closer, her reflection in the water changed. Instead of her face, she saw the face of a little girl with hollow, black eyes. Liz screamed and stumbled back as the water churned violently, and skeletal hands covered in slime emerged from its depths. She bolted up the stairs, but the man was gone. The gas station had transformed, its walls cracked and oozing a red liquid that resembled blood. Jars fell from the shelves, and voices came from outside, hundreds of voices whispering her name. Liz ran to her car, but the doors were locked. Turning around, she saw the little girl standing in the doorway of the gas station. Her eyes glowed, and her mouth stretched into a grin far too wide for her small face. "You came to us. Now you stay," the girl whispered, and Liz felt her feet root to the ground, as if the earth itself had claimed her. The next morning, her car was found abandoned near the old gas station. A gas can sat on the back seat, but it was empty. Locals buzzed about the latest disappearance, adding it to the growing list of strange incidents. And Croft's gas station remained as it always had, waiting patiently for the next traveler foolish enough to step through its haunted doors.